Good day, everyone. Today we will discuss one of the most important topics in pharmacology, and that is antibiotics. As future nurses, you will administer these drugs almost daily in clinical practice. Understanding how they work, their classifications, and their adverse effects is essential for safe and effective patient care. Antibiotics are chemical substances that either inhibit the growth of a bacteria or destroy them completely. They may be natural or produced by microorganisms, semi-synthetic, which are chemically modified, or synthetic, which are manufactured entirely in laboratories. Remember class, antibiotics targets bacteria and not viruses. The main purpose of antibiotics are as follows. First, to treat bacterial infections. Second, to prevent infection, especially in surgical patients. And third, to reduce bacterial load so the immune system can recover. Remember, antibiotics do not treat viral infections like the common cold or influenza. Bacteria are single-celled organisms. They are classified on shape, oxygen requirement, and gram staining characteristics. Understanding bacterial classifications helps determine which antibiotic will be effective. Now, let's talk about gram classification. Bacteria are classified into two, gram-positive and gram-negative. Gram-positive bacteria have a thick peptidoglycan layer and retain a violet stain. Examples include Streptococcus pneumoniae and Staphylococcus aureus. These commonly cause respiratory and skin infections. Gram-negative bacteria have a thin peptidoglycan layer and an outer lipid membrane. Examples include Escherichia coli, Klebsiella, and Pseudomonas. These are commonly associated with urinary and gastrointestinal infections. Some bacteria requires oxygen. These are aerobic, while others do not. These are anaerobic. This classification also influences antibiotic choice. Let's talk about the major classes of antibiotic. Penicillins are among the oldest and most important antibiotics. They are bactericidal, meaning they kill bacteria by inhibiting cell wall synthesis. There are several types of penicillins. This includes the natural penicillin, which are your penicillin G and penicillin V. You also have your penicillinase-resistant penicillin, such as your oxacillin and nafcillin, and your aminopenicillins, which includes ampicillin and amoxicillin. Penicillins are used to treat respiratory infections, skin infections, syphilis, and meningitis. The most serious adverse reactions is hypersensitivity or allergic reaction. This can range from mild rash to severe anaphylaxis. As nurses, always check allergy history before administration of penicillin. Cephalosporins are similar to penicillins. They are classified into generations, each with increasing gram-negative coverage. Here is the third and the fourth generation. They inhibit bacterial cell wall synthesis, making them bactericidal. Common adverse effects include diarrhea, seizures at high doses, and cross-sensitivity in patients allergic to penicillin. So therefore, if the patient is allergic to penicillin, you shouldn't be giving this medication. Now let's talk about aminoglycoside. So examples of aminoglycosides includes the following. So you have your gentamicin, amikacin, and tobramycin. The mechanism of actions is they are bactericidal and inhibit protein synthesis by binding to the 30S ribosome. They are used in severe gram-negative infections and hospital-acquired infections. Major toxicities are nephrotoxicity, ototoxicity, and neurotoxicity. As nurses, always monitor kidney function and also the hearing of the patient. Examples of fluoroquinolones include the following. You have your ciprofloxacin, levofloxacin, and moxifloxacin. As for their mechanism of action, they inhibit DNA gyrase, which prevents bacterial DNA replication. They are used for urinary tract infections, pneumonia, GI infections, and sexually transmitted diseases. Important adverse effects include the following. So you have tendon rupture, gastrointestinal upset, and also dizziness. You should also avoid used in children and pregnant women. For tetracyclines, you have your doxycycline and minocycline. As for their mechanism of action, they are considered to be as bacteriostatic, and they also inhibit protein synthesis at the 30S ribosome. They are used in acne, Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and also chlamydia. Okay, for your important nursing teaching, do not take this medication with milk. It can cause teeth discoloration in children and may even cause photosensitivity. For macrolides, very good examples are your erythromycin, azithromycin, and also your clarithromycin. For their mechanism of action, they inhibit protein synthesis in the 50S ribosome. For their use, they are commonly used for respiratory infection, your atypical pneumonia, and also an alternative for penicillin allergy. Possible adverse effects are the following. So you have your gastrointestinal upset, your QT prolongation, and it is hepatotoxic. Okay. Now let's talk about culture sensitivity. Before starting antibiotic therapy, you have to identify the organism first and determine its susceptibility. This prevents resistance and incorrect drug use. Common adverse reactions for your antibiotics are the following. So you have your GI disturbances, hypersensitivity, nephrotoxicity, and ototoxicity. It may also cause hepatotoxicity and even superinfection. As nurses, your responsibilities are the following. So you have to obtain culture before therapy and also monitor for allergic reactions. Ensure also full compliance of the drug therapy to your patients. Monitor renal and liver function. And also watch for superinfection and assess possible drug interaction. Thank you for listening. In our next session, we will continue exploring other anti-infective agents and deepen our understanding of safe pharmacological management.